Okay, this second video is talking about the two changes in supply. There's number one, a change in quantity supplied, and number two, a change in supply. So first thing, a change in quantity supplied is just a movement along the line, along the supply curve, because of a change in price. And again, the only thing that is changing in this case is price. And so then you respond by supplying more or less to the market. So let's say, for example, that we have here our upward sloping line and supply. This is our graph here. A change in quantity supply, like I said, is just a movement along the line. So let's say, for example, that at $5, let's say that the price that prevails in the market is $1. And at $1, we are calling this point A. At $1, we are supplying 5 units of pencils to the market. And I will label my market pencils. So let's say, for example, then that the price of pencils increases to $5. And so if price is going up, price is what's changing. Now the price that's prevailing in the market has increased. We're going to call this B. And at $5, then I am producing or supplying 15 units of pencils to the market. So we will move, it's a movement along the line from point A to point B because the quantity that I have supplied has increased from 5 pencils to 15 pencils. So again, and this also illustrates from the law of supply that says that when price goes up, the quantity that we supply goes up. And it's illustrated by a movement along the line from one point of the line to another because of a change in price. The only thing that's changing is price. Let's say, for example, that price has gone down. Let's say that price that was prevailing in the market was $5 and I was supplying 15 units of pencils to the market. And then price decided to drop down to $1. So now I'm going from point B to point A. And now I'm going to decrease the quantity that I supply to the market from 15 units to 5 units. So that is, again, a movement along the line because of a change in price. And so here, this is a decrease in quantity supplied because I'm supplying less of a good because the price has changed. And on the opposite end, then this is an increase in QS in quantity supplied because I've responded to the market's change in price. When price goes up, then I'm going to supply more to the market. So a shift or a movement up the line is an increase. A movement down the line then is a decrease. This is a change in quantity supplied because specifically a change in price. The only thing that's changing is price. And it's directly related to the law of supply that says that when price goes down, the quantity supplies goes down. When price goes up, the quantity that you supply will go up. So hopefully that will help you. Okay, the second way then that you can, there is a change in supply is when you have a shift of the entire line. So the second way is a change in supply. And this is a shift of the entire curve, because of some non-price determinants, because of, we're going to say hashtag, this is what we used in my prior classes, and since we're not in class to come up with the new acronym, I'm just going to use this acronym that we used before. So this is a shift of the entire curve. This is where price is the same, where price stays the same, but it's something else that's changing. And then because of a change in hashtag step through giant cactus, because we live in Texas. So if you remember that, then you'll remember the non-price determinants. I know it's kind of silly, but it's the way that my students learned and they came up with the acronym, so I just went with it. So a change in supply is just that there is a change in the entire curve. Here you have quantity supply on the X, here you have price on the Y, and you have this upward sloping line that we're going to call supply. because of some non-price determinant, and I'm going to go over that in the next video, then an increase in supply is going to be a shift to the right. This is a shift to the right, and this is an increase in supply. Most people get confused. Some students get confused thinking that a shift to the left is going to be an increase, where it is actually a decrease. In terms of quantity, and we're looking in terms of the x-axis from 0 to infinity, if we are at this point in terms of quantity on this original supply curve, if we supply more to the market, right, at that same price, then an increase in the quantity at each and every price is going to be a shift to the right. So in terms of quantity, a shift to the right is, some people visualize it as like below. If they think like this is an increase in supply because it is above the line, but this is actually a decrease in supply. In terms of quantity, you're supplying less to the market at that same price. If it's easier for you to look at the graph like this, and this is your original supply curve, to the right is an increase, and then to the left is a decrease. So just know that a change in supply is a shift of the entire curve. It is where price stays the same, but it's something else that's changing, and I'm going to go over these non-price determinants that cause for supply to shift to the right, to supply more to the market at each and every price, or to supply less to the market at each and every price, seemingly creating a shift to the right to increase supply, or a shift to the left to decrease supply. So I will go over the non-price determinants in the next video.